here at Mowers and Blowers. We push them into the garage, but they come out driving.
Oh, hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Good morning. It's Sunday around 11, and I'm headed back to Nick from Medford's house because yesterday after I left, he went and picked up a lawn tractor, and when he came back, he got a hit on like 3 or 4 other ones. So that dude picked up like 5 lawn tractors in one day. When he took the first one home, he swapped an engine on it, cleaned it up, listed it, and then sold it for $1,000. The guy is a machine. I don't know where he finds the time, honestly, really. Anyway, so he stripped 2 of those tractors that he got and took the engines out of it. He's gonna throw the carcasses to the street. Can I do? I gotta go back there and get them, right? One of the engines has a blown connecting rod. And he's like, I'm gonna have to Indian give that engine I gave you yesterday. So yesterday, as you know, I brought home a 18 horsepower engine that he gave me. In it had a good piston and connecting rod. Well, he needs a connecting rod. So I'm going back there to get the carcasses, and I'm gonna bring him back his connecting rods, and I'm bringing him a crankshaft that has a good journal too. See? This is what I ripped out of the engine yesterday. While this journal can be saved with muric acid, right? And it has a link on there too. The one that the connecting rod was attached to, this one here with the good piston, right? Has a good journal because, you know, it was connected. It's when it's not connected or the connecting rod blows is when the journal gets messed up, you know? But that's decent. Just clean that up a little bit. Some light sanding with some high grit sandpaper will fix that. You know, but it's smooth, you know? So this is a good connecting rod. That should be a decent crankshaft and connecting rod. And there is some scoring on this piston here, but it should work, you know? Anyway, I'm headed back to Nick from Medford's house. So I'm over here at Nick from Medford's house. Yesterday when I left him, he got that red thing from Middle Island. He took it home, he swapped an engine on it, shined it up, sold it the same day for $1,000. He paid up $180 for it, right? Then he goes out and he sees an ad for $45 for a bagger. He goes to go buy the bagger, and the guy gives him these 2 for $100, so $50 each. He took the engines out of it. I think one of them might have been blown. He got a Kohler out of it. The other one had a blown connecting rod, so he cleaned this up, and I brought him the connecting rod for him to install. He already cleaned it up. This one's trashed. This is another one that he got. He put a new engine on here, and this is ready to go too. I mean, the dude is a machine, and I almost knocked down his mailbox before, so when he said to move it, you know what, let me move it. And the backup camera doesn't work.
Oh, the back. Oh, yeah, it's never.
Got a Husqvarna YTH 2242.
So as you guys saw, I just loaded up those two inside the van, but then Nick does not know how to take off the synchro counterweight balance off of this crankshaft, right? And so I guess I'm gonna stay and do that for you.
I don't know.
Yeah, and there's like a there you go. No, remember you have to put it on the same exact way though.
What do you do on that side? Oh, this side slides forward, right? Oh, the crank's in the way.
Yeah, rotate it that way. There you go.
Okay,
And you put it on the same exact way though. Yeah. You want to use this one?
I don't know, is it the same?
Put in the same
5,
orientation.
4, 5 it says, or no?
It's all the same, bro.
3, 5, 2.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
Well, actually, look, this is a little different, right?
Oh shit, maybe it's gonna hit.
I don't know, you think? Here,
I think so.
compare this one then.
Yeah, it's this.
This says 545.
Yeah, that's what this is, a 545.
And you better use this one then, but
Yeah.
you might have to sand that a little bit. It doesn't look too bad though.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a different crank.
There we go. 5 minutes. That crankshaft had a little bit of a different weight here. It kind of popped out a little bit more than this one. So we have this one that's exactly the same one, 545/11. The other one has a better journal, right? But it has a different number on it. It says 352. And this thing here looks different than this thing. You guys can see that? The 545 and the 352 differ. It's not shaped the same way. This one actually sticks out more, so we're afraid that if we use this one when we wanted to, because this is a better journal, right? But this thing might hit something, so we just went safe with the same exact 545 on this one. But you do have to sand that with like a strip of sandpaper, fine grit. Put some oil on there and go back and forth and just smooth it out. Wait, you don't have any fine grit sandpaper?
I got some.
It ought to be okay. I mean, look, we have no choice because we don't have another one. And it's got some play here, but honestly, when you tap this part in, it's not a science to it, you know what I mean? It's just a rubber thing. So you'd expect that it's not going to be exactly so tight. If they wanted to, they would have done like some kind of bolt or something as opposed to just a plastic thing that shoved in there, you know, like a grommet. Spray some carb cleaner on there and then do it, and then take some oil and do it. Anyway, it's hot in here. I gotta get out of here. So I'm back now, and now I parked it right here because I'm just gonna attempt to just push it out and have it roll down right into you guys. So here we go. We got both out of the van relatively quickly. Just rolled them down off the street and they rolled pretty well. This one over here, I just checked the numbers, and this is actually an 07 model. So it's pretty new, but this has been neglected big time, been left outside a lot, as you can tell. It's really rusted. Missing the seat, Nick took it. Missing the cup holder. Nick took it. This wheel is down. This front tire is off the bead. Got a muffler and a double stack pulley there. He took the gas tank and the engine. So looking at this one, it's in really rough shape. Check out the deck. This deck is done for sure. Next one. Same story. Took the cup holder. Tires seem to hold air. This is actually a decent seat. It's got a mulch cover for the deck. As you can see, the rest of the body is not as rusted. It is rusted, but it's not as rusted as that one. It's got a gas tank. Engine's gone. This is an LT2000. It's a little bit better than the one that I sold for $875, my LT1500. And looking at this one here, it's in better shape than that one, but honestly, this deck is done. So I got two here. Two haulers? Thing is, Craftsman decks are relatively easy to acquire here. Not for free, but I do see them. They range between $75 and $150. I've seen them. But you know me, I'm not going to pay for any of those. So I honestly don't even know what I'm going to do now. I mean, I've got literally 4 engines with one that I could fix. The 13.5 flathead where I could just put some valves in and maybe it'll work. But I've got one that's ready to go right now. That Hurricane Isaias tractor engine. That one was running on it. You know, we got it to run before I stripped the rest of the tractor. So I know I could just slap that engine on and this could probably run. Transmission's very good. Neutral. And it rolls very well on neutral. You pop it into first. And it rolls, see? In first gear. Put it in 6th gear and it rolls faster. So this tranny's good with good crisp clicks. Good transmission, good seat, okay body, not great body, but okay body. All the wheels hold air. Deck is Dunsky. Lever works, lever's here, throttle's good, has a light switch, got a gas tank, steering wheel, it's got a hood. So this is pretty much complete with the exception of the deck. So if anything, at the very minimum, right, I'll make this a hauler and then await another deck. Same actually goes for this one too. So as you know, this doesn't have a hood, but remember Nick from Medford gave me a couple of LT1000 hoods. So I can just put it, and it's also the gray one too. So I have a hood. We can put a hood on here. So basically all we have here today, I also have another seat too, which I can put on there. Not a great seat, but a seat to put on there. So basically, I can literally make 2 Craftsman gray haulers, both without decks, because I'm definitely not going to be able to salvage any of these decks. I was able to use some ratchet straps and get this back on the bead. Pumped up the tire. Actually holds air, or so it seems for the time being. So you know what I'm going to do right now, just to make it easier for me to roll around? I'm going to remove both decks and take the parts that I need off of them and get rid of them. I'm just going to be stuck with 2 decks, 2 haulers, because there's no way I can use any of these decks except for maybe parts. That's it.
So you guys saw, I just took the stuff that I wanted from the two decks. The blades, actually, while they look rusty and stuff, they're all straight, and looks like you can sharpen them up pretty well. So as long as they're straight, they're good blades, you know. And I always run into LT1000s, you know, the LT series with the 5-star. Like you can see, it's rusty, right? But it's straight, and just needs some sharpening and maybe a painter or something, you know. It'll work fine for sometimes when you get an LT and you don't have enough blades, you know. So I kept all 4 blades. They were all evenly the same. I kept the rear balance bar, you know. There's a type that's like the ZZ top, shaped like a Z. I have those too, but these are both straight. I kept also the front tie rod links, not tie rods, but the drag links for the mower deck to the frame of the tractor. These are always useful, you know, because you lose them sometimes, you know. There's 4 of them here. I can list these on eBay, and they should sell for a few bucks here and there, you know what I mean. I mean, instead of throwing them away, it's money, you know. You did see that I went through quite a lot of trouble getting on the bottom of the deck and grinding out the screw or bolt. The bolt is designed to go in here into this groove, and it's so thin that you can't get a socket in there, won't fit. The screw head had a Torx design in it, but with all the rust and everything, it was just a stub. You couldn't even get it out. You couldn't even get a wrench in there to turn it either. So the only way to get it out was to either drill it out, or from the bottom, grind the bottom stump of the screw, and then bang it out with a sledgehammer and a center punch. Boom, just like that. The reason why I went through so much trouble to get these off is that you can never get these off. You know what I mean? And so when you get a deck, it never has these because you can never get them off. So now that you get them off with these holes intact, right, you can actually make a complete deck. You know what I'm saying? So these, I mean, in my opinion, they're worth money, you know. I don't know how much these go for on eBay, but that's the thing. You can never get them off. So to have them, 2 of them off, there's only 1 on each deck, you know. But it protects your feet from getting mangled in the spinning pulley while the deck is on, you know. So to me, these are valuable because I remember lots of LT1000s where I didn't have these because I could never find one, you know. And you can never find one because you can never get them off. So then, you know, these were easy enough to take off, you know, the tensioner pulleys, the whole assembly. It was easy to get off, so why not take them off, you know? It doesn't really take up that much room in my bin of parts. Just throw these in my bin of parts, and you know, I'll always need them. Also, these brake arms for the spindle pulleys. Some of them have the brakes still on, some don't, you know, but these are worth it too to keep, you know. And springs, you always need springs, you always need idler pulleys too, and these seem to spin fine, you know. So that's all I wanted out of it, and I feel pretty good about it. I would have taken more off, but I have so many more of those parts, you know. So, what did I get today? Well, first of all, in my mind, I got something for it because it's all free, right? I mean, I gave Nick my some product from Lucas Oil, but that's the whole point of me getting the product from Lucas Oil, is that fellow wrenchers like Nick and I, and Larry and Bobby and Jason, all those guys, you know, my squad, I share my wealth because if they need the product, they can get the product, you know, and helps them wrench a little bit better, you know, and faster and easier. And if Nick was throwing this away, I'm the first one that he contacts about this stuff. Otherwise, it goes to his scrap guy, you know. So I appreciate all the carcasses that Nick gives me, because you know me, I'll always make something out of it, you know. You guys remember my last hauler, the Desert Storm themed Desert Sand LT1000? I mean, that was like that. It might have been in worse condition than that. I had to basically change everything on there that was like built from just a frame, you know, from parts. What did I sell it for? $650. That's right. I sold a hauler from parts for $650. And you know what? It was a really fun project, you know, and I bet you guys enjoyed that project too, you know, with the Gatling gun. If you guys are new and haven't seen that project, go and Google, not Google, yeah, you could Google too, you can find me. Mowers and Blowers Desert Sand. All you have to do is those 4 words and you'll find my video on that Desert Sand hauler project. That was fun. It was cool. And big thanks to my buddy Andy from Jericho, who made me that Punisher U.S. Army star, you know, and the U.S. flag that we got stenciled on there with spray paint. I think that sold it, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so tomorrow I'm going to get a hood out for this and another seat and at least try to make 2 haulers. And then we'll work on getting an engine on one of these. I haven't decided. Probably this one, because I think this one's in a better is in better condition than that one. Although they're equally in lousy shape because there's a lot of rust around the battery box area. But anyway, that's our video for today. While I thought I wasn't gonna get anything in the future to do videos on, Nick always comes through and gets me a couple of haulers, right? And well, these should occupy at least 10 more episodes, you know, putting engines on it and stuff, and eventually trying to get a couple of decks for this because they're pretty common. I just refuse to pay for it. That's all. So I'll find out wheeling and dealing and eventually get a couple of Craftsman decks and make these 2 haulers into something that's useful, such as mowing a lawn, you know. But anyway, thanks a lot for joining me on today's episode. Thanks to Nick from Medford for the 2 haulers. And we'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
I just went to my backyard to put away those parts, and I came back with this. So here, I've got a seat here. Needs some work, of course, but it is a Craftsman seat, same one as the other one. I didn't have any more gas tanks. So this is like a, I don't know where I got this from. Maybe a Cub Cadet or, maybe. And here is a hood from a gray Craftsman. Needs some work over here because it's broken, you know. Probably fabricate something to get it to work. Maybe a bracket or 2. There we go. Check that out. Starting to turn into 2 tractors now, huh? Just bolt that on there and fix it, whatever. And there we go. No problem.